All right, so it is officially time to get this motor ready to go back in my car. I guess not back in my car. This is the first time it's been in my car. But again, we're going F22C rather than the original F20C that came in my car. And this F22 is a AP2V1 motor, which means that it actually is not crazy different than the AP1 motor. It's still a cable-driven throttle body. It's still got the same cam sensors, crank sensors, a bunch of just hand-me-down parts from the original F20C. The only difference is it's bored and stroked out into a 2.2 liter. So for my application, it's actually pretty great because it means I don't really need to change a whole lot other than the tune. All the same accessories work, all the same plugs work. This motor, when I got it, like half the sensors were broken off of it. So because of that, I got to take all of my old sensors and put it on this motor. So now those are all on there. That was one of the first things I did. And then some other things we're doing. So everyone likes to absolutely shit on Ballade Sports. I'm not sure how it's pronounced. They like to shit on them online, but I personally have had a pretty solid experience with everything I've bought from them. So your mileage may vary because there's enough negative information out there that I have to be inclined to believe there's some bad stuff. But long story short is this is their oil pan baffle kit. So there's a way better one that you actually weld into the pan, and it's like a bunch of walls that have little rubber doors that keep everything sealed in. Theoretically does work much better, but you have to weld it into the pan, and at the time that I did this, I did not have aluminum welding skills whatsoever. Still don't, but I do know people now. But this one is a bolt-in solution, so it literally uses these little, there we go, uses these little standoffs and a bolt, and it basically replaces some of your factory bolts for the factory windage tray, as well as one of your factory oil pump bolts. Yeah, there we go, I got it. And yeah, anyway, just bolts into this little guy, and basically it gives you an extra wall of protection. So in terms of like, not in my case, but in higher horsepower cars, it helps prevent slush back, and it just does a better job as a whole of keeping oil around here, and it works in conjunction with the factory wall that they put in the pan to basically just help make sure you're keeping oil as close to the pickup as possible. So I've so far had a good experience. All of my failures, even my spectacular failure, wasn't due to oil starvation. So either this is working or it's doing nothing and the S2000 is just good at doing it on its own. Who knows? But I like having it in there. So this is going back in there. We're going to seal this up with Honda Bond. This is actually my AP1 oil pan because the one that came with this motor, the frickin' drain plug. So it has a Fumetto oil drain valve, and that got hit. So it's cracked the pan open. So either way, everything else is good. So we're going to get that old pan back on there, bolt all this together with some Honda Bond, and then we're going to be another step closer to getting this motor put together.